Good morning. We're on the banks of the Rio Grande here in Laredo, Texas. And as you can look behind me, you can see that the river's flowing nicely today. If you don't know, this river starts, the headwaters are in Colorado, up in the San Luis Valley. The river makes its way down through the state of New Mexico, becomes the international boundary between the U.S. and Mexico at about the level of El Paso, Juarez, and then comes on down the river and eventually, if there's enough water, empties into the Gulf of Mexico at Boca Chica. This river is one of the most endangered rivers in the world. It's in the top 10, and there are a number of reasons for it being on the endangered list. Number one, it's over-allocated. Every drop of water that you can see behind me now belongs to somebody, and actually there's more ownership to the water than there is actual water. And so we have a problem with the amount of water we have, and also we have problems with contamination in the river. And right here in Laredo, Nuevo Laredo, especially downstream of where we are right now, there's a problem with bacteria, E. coli, fecal coliform bacteria in the water, and that comes from mainly human waste, domestic sewer, that doesn't get treated but simply gets put into the river. There's been an improvement over the past 20-some years. At one time, Nuevo Laredo was putting 25 million gallons per day of raw sewage in the river. Today, it's more like 5 to 6 million. That's an improvement, but certainly not acceptable. The reason that we're right here today, if you can look behind me, there's a little island out there. And this is actually the reason Laredo was founded in 1755, where it is. Obviously, Native Americans for centuries had been crossing back and forth across the river, and they didn't have, they couldn't cross at most places, but this was one place that was crossable. And so when the Spaniards came and when it was decided to create a city, a town, a village at that point on this side of the river, they looked for a place that was easy to cross, and this is where it was. This is the Paso del Indio that was instrumental in the foundation of Laredo where it is today. Now then, this river, in addition to having some challenges as far as water quality and quantity, there are also problems. There's invasive species on the river. Probably the most notable is the Carrizo cane, the river cane, giant cane, that has invaded much of the banks of the river. And probably one of the most serious threats to the river today is the idea that Homeland Security has, that they think they need to build a fence, a wall along the river. Well, that will have devastating effects on the river itself, the quality of the water, the wildlife. There are many species of wildlife that require water from the river for drinking, and if they get walled off from the river, then they have no place to take water. So there are serious problems that are on the horizon, and it would be good if we could somehow or other get that changed, that we don't really need a wall, and the more we can do to prevent the construction of a wall in this area, the better. So I think that's probably my allotted time. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.